Today I'm sharing what I eat in a day when I'm not having any added sugar. I actually eat like this pretty much most of the time. It's more of a rarity for me to include added sugar, but eating this way can actually be pretty easy and really delicious and honestly just makes me feel so much better. So let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. More on them in a bit. Okay, so I view cutting out added sugar as creating a clean slate. A lot of cravings and uncontrolled hunger can really come back to eating too much sugar. And it's not to say that sugar can never be had, but I have found for myself and for a lot of my clients, having this clean slate approach, whether it be for a day or 7 days, can really help to just reset sugar cravings and reset uncontrolled hunger. When I say zero sugar, I mean zero added sugar. But that doesn't just mean the type of like sugar that you'd see in sugar packets, because sugar technically comes in anything that contains carbohydrates other than fiber. All carbs are going to break down into sugars in the body. What I mean are those sugars that are exclusively added into foods to make that meal sweeter. So for example, cane sugar, maple syrup, agave corn syrup, coconut sugar, and honey are some of the more obvious ones. But I also include natural sources of sugar that are just more concentrated than they normally would be. So this would be like fruit juice or dried fruit. And that's because it is so easy to eat a lot of these higher sugar food items than you would if you're just eating like one orange. Having like a piece of fruit versus a glass of orange juice is going to have a completely different impact on our blood sugar levels and how quickly it's absorbed, and therefore how our body actually responds to these sugars. These various forms of sugars and added sugars or concentrated sugars make it so much easier to bypass our normal satiety cues that tell us we're full, we're satisfied, and we don't need to keep eating. In fact, they almost have this addictive nature, and not even almost. There's research literally showing that these ultra processed types of sugars or carbohydrates can literally lead to food addiction. So from a weight loss, a wellness perspective, or even just for getting sugar cravings under control, having this zero sugar or zero added sugar clean slate is really helpful. Another thing I factor in is grains, especially processed grains. Generally speaking, almost all grains, even in their whole form, are going to be high glycemic load, which means it has a really big impact on our blood sugar level. And when we eat foods that have a big impact on our blood sugar, it causes our blood sugar to spike and then fall. And when we get this crash is when we feel that sensation of mood swings and insatiable hunger, aka just like hangry. Like just to give an example, white rice has a glycemic load of about 40, which anything above 20 is considered a high glycemic load food, which means white rice has a really big impact on blood sugar levels. I've actually noticed this with myself when I do have white rice. I feel so hungry like immediately after the meal, no matter how much I ate. Like I could feel physically stuffed but feel hungry at the same time. That's the impact of that blood sugar level dropping. There are some flours that are better than others, and some forms of flours and grains for that matter that are better than others. But just to keep things simple, during these clean slate periods, I also am eliminating the grains as well. Not that I really eat much of them, but just especially making sure I avoid them during this time period. These are some of the protocols that I follow in the 7-day detox program, which a lot of the AM peeps have used and love, although we have an extra emphasis on incorporating the foods that help to promote liver detoxification. But for today, I just wanted to show you what my normal day of not eating any added sugar looks like. And honestly, it's really easy because these meals taste so good. I'm so satisfied. I'm not hungry. I'm not craving food. It's just like easy. I almost feel silly sometimes doing these videos because the title makes it seem like it's so difficult, but in reality, it is like easier than any other way of eating. But before we do, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Thrive Market. If you guys don't know about Thrive Market, it's an awesome online membership-based grocery store, and they're on a mission to make healthy living as easy and accessible and affordable as possible. Plus, they're delivered directly to your door, just making things so much easier. Now, a lot of you guys know I'm a new mom, and sometimes I just don't have time to go to the grocery store. And so having Thrive Market makes it so easy to stock up on those staples that I need while still maintaining a healthy lifestyle and eating meals that I truly love and enjoy. And you can save on every order on high quality brands, including brands that offer products without any added sugar, like Primal Kitchens, on Thrive Market's website and on its app. And if you happen to find the price lower somewhere else, Thrive Market will match the price, always guaranteeing you the lowest price. And orders over $49 have free shipping. One of my favorite features of Thrive Market has always been this filters section where you can actually filter out different brands in order to fit your dietary preferences or needs. So if you're plant-based or keto or gluten-free, or you're trying to stick to zero added sugar, then you can actually mark these off to make sure that you choose brands that fit your needs. You also have access to foods you might not be able to find at your local grocery store, all while saving money in the process. In fact, you can find a lot of zero sugar brands on Thrive Market to make getting zero added sugar meals into your diet so easy. And right now you can head over to Thrive Market to get 30% off your first order, plus a free gift valued up to $60. So make sure you head over to thrivemarket.com/autumnbates for 30% off your first order. I'll also have it link down description below so you don't miss out on the discount. Okay, so now let's dive into my meals. Now, always, but especially on days when you aren't having any added sugar, especially if you're used to having a lot of added sugar, it's so important to make sure that you're focused on getting enough water. I usually go through about 2 to 3 of these per day, including some other like glasses randomly that I'll have throughout the day as well. Because when we eat less sugar, it actually can help to lower our storing hormone insulin, which also causes our body to release excess water and sodium, which can make us dehydrated. So this is actually my second one of these today so far, and it is 10 a.m. After I've had my water, the next thing I like to do is have my coffee, and that's after I've been awake for like maybe an hour or two. Typically I'd work out first thing in the morning, but today I did not. I felt like I needed a little bit extra muscle recovery, so I took the day off and just went for a walk instead. And when I got back, I had my coffee, which I keep this 0 sugar by just using half and half. And I actually love the taste of just half and half or a little bit of heavy cream in coffee. It's like nice and rich and has a good mouthfeel while still actually being able to enjoy the taste of coffee. So for breakfast today, I made protein pancakes, but I specifically made some lemon blueberry protein pancakes. When reducing or removing added sugars, it is so crucial to make sure that you're focused on getting enough protein. Eating enough protein literally tells our brain we're full, we're satisfied, and we don't need to eat, and that directly impacts our sugar cravings. This in itself is just one of the most effective tools to eliminate sugar cravings. I talked a lot about it in my sugar detox series and the tips that I use to actually get rid of my sugar cravings. So today I made protein pancakes, which I did use a half a banana in the base. This adds a hint of sweetness, but it isn't going to provide a ton of sugar. And then I add in an egg, which provides some fat and protein. I use 2 scoops of my 0 sugar vanilla protein powder, which is going to add another 20 grams of complete protein into this pancake. And then I put some lemon zest inside, which brings so much flavor. Oh my gosh, that is one thing that's so important as well when removing sugar, is making sure that your meals are really flavorful. And then from there, I added in a little bit of blueberries, cooked it on the stovetop, and then topped it with a little bit of unsweetened skyr, which is similar to Greek yogurt, but a little bit higher in protein. I like to use this as like a topping, but it also helps to bump up the protein even further, making sure that I'm really satisfied for my meal so I don't get sugar cravings. And then to make sure I was fully satisfied, I added on a little bit of almond butter for some high quality fat. And then just for fun, I put a little sprinkle of bee pollen. Now, while I was making these pancakes, my husband was like, should we have more coffee? And I was like, sure, why not? If I have a second coffee, I always make sure it's either decaf or 1/3 caf so I can actually sleep at night, because poor sleep can also increase sugar cravings the next day. So to go along with the first meal, I made a 1/3 caf latte. And for the milk portion, I just used regular whole milk. Using the whole milk options for dairy products has actually been found to help shut off hunger and to actually be protective against obesity. And it just tastes so much better. Again, going back to the idea of you need to enjoy your food, otherwise it's really easy to go back to craving sugar. So I ate these 2 things together, and that was my first meal, and it was so good. Oh, okay, so then that brings us to lunch, which you'll notice that there's no snacks in between. And those who are OG followers of my channel know that I just don't really snack. I find that actually promotes more hunger and therefore more cravings. And with the whole goal of trying to eliminate added sugars, it'd be counterproductive to eat in a way that caused me to crave more sugar. So that's why I make sure my meals are very satiating, very satisfying, have everything I need within each of those 3 meals. And something I like to make on days where I'm really accounting for hunger and really making sure that I don't get hungry in between meals is eggs. Eggs are ridiculous satiating. There have been numerous studies comparing eggs to other meal items, like for example, oatmeal, and have found it to be substantially more satisfying and prevent hunger for longer, which makes sense because eggs do contain protein as well as fat, which help to tell our body we're full, we're satisfied, we don't need to eat. So I have 3 eggs, but then I pair it with some cottage cheese to make sure I can get to about 30 grams of protein or more at that meal. It also makes it kind of like cheesy and fluffy and so delicious. This has been my favorite way to make eggs lately. I'm also going to pair it with some veggies just to add in a little bit of fiber boost as well. Okay, so dinner tonight is grilled chicken with roasted beets, roasted sweet potatoes, and pesto. Yum. So sweet potato is going to be more of a medium glycemic load food, which means it could have a larger impact on blood sugar levels, which is why I'm not making it the centerpiece of the meal. I'm just adding it on. That way I'm lowering the blood sugar impact that it has. So I like to roast the veggies because it just helps to add some really amazing texture, brings out the natural flavor, and just makes it taste really good, which enjoying the meals, so important. When you enjoy meals, you don't miss sugar. And then I made some grilled chicken, but I marinated that chicken in some yogurt as well as some spices to make it like a Greek yogurt-y style chicken. It also helps keep the chicken breast more tender. And then to combine all this, I made some fresh pesto, which pesto is absolutely loaded with flavor. And we put in a lot of raw garlic because we just love garlic in this household. For the amount of garlic we eat, there's no way any vampires are ever stopping by. So the chicken component provides the protein to keep us satisfied, but then we get a ton of flavor and some micronutrients from the veggies as well as the pesto. It's simple, uses fresh ingredients, and it tastes so good, and we absolutely did not miss sugar. Now, a lot of delicious zero added sugar products can be found on Thrive Market and delivered directly to your door. So if you want the discount for 30% off your first order plus the free gift valued up to $60, make sure you head over to thrivemarket.com/autumnbates. Or you can click the link in the description box down below so you don't miss out. Now, I used to be an absolute sugar addict, so if you want to check out exactly how I stopped my sugar cravings for good, you can check out this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.